It's live. There we go.
Welcome back, strangers. Hope you guys are having a good night. Tonight we're excited to hang out with you guys and discuss the strangest unsolved cases involving mysterious phone calls. So it's going to be a cool night. If you're new to our channel, we're the Strangest. We're a paranormal channel and unsolved mysteries channel that goes to the places we talk about. It's a fun time. But if you don't know, my name's Blake. I am one of the narrators / editors for the Strangest. Nice to meet you guys.
I'm Ethan. I'm the other half of the Strangest. I write the scripts and sometimes I edit and narrate. So what did you guys think of the Mandela effect video? It's a little controversial. Some people didn't like it that much, but it had some interesting examples. Have any?
That's pretty split. It was like either, oh yeah, I remember it that way, or fake and gay. Hate it.
Yeah.
You guys are idiots for discussing this. Do your research.
Yeah, so no. It was supposed to be fun. That had been on our list to do for like a year. So Rebecca came up with the main point of it, the Tito Bandito. I should have gotten him. Hold on.
Yeah, the Tito one, it threw me off too.
Yeah, it was his little earring. Anyone remember that? The fact we found it. Someone posted that on like eBay, so we had it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was thinking, I remembered having a kids meal toy of Tito back in the day, but I looked that up on Google and it doesn't have one either. So I was like, man, it's garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the other ones got me too. I remember, what was it? I remember the Kazam one, but I think I remember it as Kazam, not Shazam. I remember there being Shaq Fu that was similar. That was like a video game.
Yeah.
Which one threw you off the most?
Well, I remember in the script, my cousin telling me about the Shazam one, because he straight asked me, I did it to Jacob too, Soggy Seal, when I was with him. I wish I would have filmed his reaction. He asked me, what's that movie, the genie movie that Sinbad starred in? He's like, it's from the 90s. I'm like, oh, it's Shazam. And he's just like, that's a Mandela effect. And before, at that point, I only heard of the Bernstein Bears one and the Nelson Mandela. So
yeah,
that one blew my mind.
The Bernstein Bears one made me really angry. Hey, don't turn around. How's it going? Also, hey, I didn't catch up on the chat.
Blake's notice the check mark first.
Yeah,
that's important.
Anyway,
don't turn around.
Hey, Kenneth, how's it going? Amy, good to see you. Happy Friday to you as well. Ghost Watch, good to see you as always. Let's see. Thick Ginger, hadn't seen you in a while, man. How's it going? Mr. Ramsey, I'm going to get that script to you soon. I meant to do it today, but I'm struggling. Hey, Masudo-chan, good to see you. And Texas, Lexus, and Icy Pies. Good to see you guys. Yeah. But the Bernstein Bears one made me really mad. Because as a kid, I had the books. My parents got me and my sister the books. And I was like, I can fix this real quick. And I went downstairs, and sure enough, Berenstain.
Yeah,
but who am I to say that their names aren't real? Because the author, the authors are the Berenstains.
Yeah, another one I should have brought it out too. I had this stuffed Pikachu ever since second grade, and I could have sworn when I read the Pikachu tail, having the black tip tail, that my Pikachu even had it. And I went to my grandparents' house just to find it because I knew I still had it. Got it out, went through all that trouble, and it had a normal tail, and I was so disappointed. So,
yeah. It's all lies.
Yeah,
but I will say the C-3PO one really messed with me because I even had a C-3PO R2-D2 piggy bank as a kid, and it definitely has the yellow one, the gold, whatever you want to say. But they did say that a lot of the merchandise is gold. But yeah, you guys should go watch that video if we haven't already spoiled it. There's a lot more in there. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it was a fun time. But segue, what's the most mysterious phone call you have received? Do you know?
I get a lot of weird phone calls. I remember back in the day when I worked at Lowe's. I want to say it was a coworker, but I just kept getting calls with just heavy breathing. And they kept coming back, and I was like, yo, I'm not your girlfriend. And they're like, oh.
It's that guy from Hey Arnold.
Yeah. Hey. But yeah, that was pretty creepy. How about you?
Mine, I'm pretty sure I told this on the stream before, but when I was 16, I used to go to the office and take my girlfriend back there before I worked there, and like one night the phone kept ringing and going off, but it only rang twice and then it would stop, and it did it 3 times, and it was like just really creepy. I was just like so consistent, and I just left because of that. So I was like, I can't do it. So I don't know if that was someone messing with me, or sometimes like for some reason like trucks like long haul trucks can sometimes mess with it, like the radios in it, and cause them to go off, I guess. But it just kept ringing twice and hanging up, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So, but nothing too bad.
Maybe someone trying to sell you something, but just not very good at it. They have performance anxiety. It's a telemarketer with performance anxiety. It's like, come on, answer. Oh, no, hang on. Or it could have been one of those people just trying to profess their love. It's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this time. No, I can do it this time.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had someone stalk you or had to block your phone, like someone's phone number from your phone because they kept harassing you?
I've blocked a lot of people, but I've only had one stalker, and that was back in high school. That was before I had a cell phone because I wasn't privileged. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was out of school. But yeah, I haven't had to worry about people actually tracking my location, or at least I don't think I have.
Yet.
Yes, give it time. The world's getting crazier and crazier.
Blake still hasn't realized his location tracker is still on from his last relationship. Plot twist.
Damn it. They're tracking my Netflix. I was like, it was logged in at this address. Yeah, people are crazy. I mean, I know a ton of women that would definitely take advantage if they could track down their boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. Ugh.
Yeah.
I miss the good old days where when you stopped talking to someone, they had no idea you existed anymore.
You just ghost them?
You just erase them from your lives. Like, you can still ghost people, but it's not as easy, especially when you have a YouTube channel.
So it's like, I know what you're doing right now. I see you.
I have to be extra careful with the girls I talk to not to piss them off so we don't get disliked to hell. Every time I break up with a girl, we just get another dislike on every video.
Yeah.
But nah, it's people are crazy. I'm sure we have some pretty crazy stories. I haven't read through them, but I'm pretty sure we do.
Well, speaking of stories, our first one is what inspired this topic. I read it on Reddit. It was like the #1 post on our unresolved mysteries this week. And it was really good. It's a case I hadn't heard of before. It was posted by Ouija Broads, because that was the user. I guess Ouija boards was already taken.
Pretty dank name.
Yeah, I mean, it works. Do you want to read the first story? It's really long, but it's really good, you guys. And like, I rewrote it, so if there's any mistakes, I didn't have a chance to proofread it, so I'm sorry.
I'm going to read it word for word intentionally then.
Yeah, so, yeah.
All right. In 2007, several people in Furcrest, Washington were harassed by derp.
Yeah.
They were harassed by mysterious phone calls and appeared like they were being stalked or spied on through their cell phones. It began one night when 16-year-old Courtney Kuykendall's friends received a text message with only the word gay from her phone. They replied asking her about the strange text, but Courtney claimed to have no idea what they were talking about. Soon, Courtney, her family, and friends were receiving threatening phone calls and texts from an unknown or restricted phone number. Except these weren't innocent prank calls or text using *67. The restricted callers said they were going to rape and kill them, their pets, and attack their school. They're going to rape their pets? Rape and kill them and their pets. Okay. The messages were relentless. They came to cell phones and landlines, even after victims began changing numbers and getting new cell plans. Nothing stopped the mysterious calls and messages. When Courtney and another victim explained the situation to the police, their phones turned themselves on and called each other in front of the officers. The police began investigating and traced the threatening messages back to Courtney's own phone. The phone appeared to be making phone calls and sending messages even when it was turned off. When Courtney and her family got home from meeting with the police, they had a voicemail that consisted of a recording of the conversation they had only hours earlier. Her parents immediately took her phone away after this, but that didn't stop the threatening messages or calls. The family installed a new security system at their home because it seemed like the mysterious caller could somehow see inside their home. The caller soon told the family that they knew the security code to the home and started commenting on the family's clothes that they were wearing during the calls. The creepiest text received happened to Andrea McKay. When she was cutting limes on her kitchen counter, she received a restricted text message that said, "I prefer lemons." Blocking the camera lenses with tape and removing the phone's batteries didn't seem to stop the mysterious person from seeing or hearing them. One night, someone even banged on the side of the Kuykendall's house and ran off. Investigators were baffled by the case. Victims were terrified, and no one had any answers to what was happening. The FBI eventually got involved, and that finally stopped the texting calls. But no one knows who was responsible for the threats. No arrests were made, and there was no real primary suspects besides Courtney herself, since the calls and texts started with her phone. Courtney's rebuttal was, "Why would I do that to the people I care about? Why would I harass my own family?" For what it's worth, her mother also was adamant that Courtney was not involved. The victims harassed included Courtney Kuykendall and her family, and her slightly older married, living with her husband in a different house, sister and family, and Courtney's friend who lived across the street from the family. At least one other friend of Heather's also said that her phone's ringtone changed without her involvement to a guttural voice saying, "Answer your phone," but she tends not to get included in the count. Some believe the mysterious caller used a virus to hack or control the phones, possibly with inside help from either a deliberate associate or someone who could smuggle their family member's phone out to be tampered with, or a clueless accomplice. One theory was that Courtney kept reinfecting her new phone by visiting her MySpace page. Many argue whether or not technology in 2007 was available that could do all of the things that the victims claimed happened to them. Some sources say military-grade technology may have been used, or that, for what it's worth, the family did live close to McCord Air Force Base, and Courtney's brother-in-law worked there. In fact, he received a strange text at one point that said, "McCord needs us." Others have suggested that it's probably just a tech-savvy teenage boy in the neighborhood who terrorized the victims by spoofing phones combined with old-fashioned peeping Tom techniques to give the illusion of being all-seeing and hearing. Or some claim the whole thing was actually a hoax put on by Courtney and her family. Almost all the evidence is based on victim reports. Even the phone encounters that happened in front of the police came from victim testimonies and aren't mentioned in the actual investigative reports involving the case. What do you think happened, strangers? Was it a hoax? An all-seeing phone that was hacked by the military technology, or something more old-fashioned, like a teenager playing pranks in his neighborhood? That was a long-ass story.
I know, I'm sorry, but it was really good. It really hooked me in when I read it. The title of it online was like, "I Prefer Lemons," and it's a real story that happened, and there's lots of different reports. I like to think that maybe it was a hoax, that Courtney was the one that started it, and kept it going, or that it was a tech-savvy teenager, because I could see someone who was like if someone was like a voyeur, combined with texting and harassing them. I don't think there was an all-seeing phone, because that doesn't seem possible with the stuff that they described in 2007.
No, I mean, it's definitely possible to spoof phone numbers, and I've heard of that happening. People being able to use pick whatever phone number they want to send messages or receive messages. But as far as back in the MySpace days, it was probably a new technology. So whoever did it, if they did it, knew what they were doing. They were probably very, very tech savvy.
Yeah, there was one thing I saw that said that Verizon and some local smaller networks would let you send texts or calls using their website if you could log into an account. So some people suggested that maybe that's how Courtney was able to send stuff from her phone when the phone was cut off, or when it was disconnected, when her parents had it. So it was able to give the illusion that her phone was still possessed or something. So
creepy stuff. You think that you just have to worry about your webcam, but maybe you got to worry about your phone. Every time you go to spank it, put something over your phone camera.
That's what I was gonna think. Do you guys cover your webcams, the built-in ones, or what about your cameras on your phone? Because that's just as creepy when you think about it. Or Blake, you have an Alexa. In fact, one script I had, I started the outline, but I didn't get any further with it. It was back during Christmas time. I was gonna write a list of things that spy on us regularly, in our house. So.
Everything knows about me then, because I have too many smart devices. It's my
man,
watch. I'm just talking. My watch listens to me. My phone, my A word that I can't say, or she'll start talking to me. Everything. My light bulbs. They got the Wi-Fi's in them.
Blake's basement is literally a studio for the Truman Show, except it's Blake's life. It's being hosted on the dark web. If you guys want to search for it.
Live 365 days a year. Just
what is this guy up to?
It's like, well, he sleeps 12 hours a day, furiously masturbates the other 12 hours a day. This is going to get great ratings.
People are into that, man.
My mom is like super into Big Brother. Like she used to pay, like you can pay and watch them on the off time when they're not on the show. And she used to do that. And I was like, that is so creepy. I was like, you just want to watch these people live? Like that's the future we're going to. People just want to live other people's lives.
Back in the day, before I even knew like streaming was a real like possibility, I always thought that like if technology reached it, I was like in college, one way to pay for rent would literally just to be like set up webcams everywhere and just record your whole life, like host it somewhere, just let people see. Because I mean, some people really like that. So
I mean, there's the Twitch people that do the live streaming their lives, IRL streams, and I mean, people love it. I mean, hell, I've watched a couple, and it is. I mean, they get in a lot of shit, but it's interesting. You waste your life watching someone else live theirs. It's like, let me just trade in some of my lifespan so I can enjoy their lifespan.
That's dark. I didn't really think about that trading time, but people like that whole disconnect though, like that escapism. You're escaping into someone else's life, so you don't have to worry about your own problems.
That's what everyone's doing on the stream right now.
Don't tell them we're doing good right now. I've had a really rough week. I don't want. This is the high point right now.
This has been a rough week, man. It's been crazy. Here's how rough it was. So editing that video, I was up until literally 2:50 a.m. and then I finally, uploaded it, and I had to leave for a 3-hour drive to go to work. And then I had to stay at work for a long time, and I was like, man, I've got to go to sleep. I was like, I have to sleep. I'm going to end up wrecking, or I'm going to fall asleep before this next in-service. So luckily, since my job's kind of bougie, I found the nicest hotel, like the most expensive hotel I could find. And I went there, and I slept in the parking lot. And it was great. It was amazing.
Like I said, they actually let you expense a hotel. That's going the distance right there.
It was pretty intense. I actually rigged it up pretty nicely. I had like the harness in the back seat that I use for Navi when I'm like driving around with her. I stretched it out so it would be like a canopy, and then I had a blanket and pillow underneath, so no one could actually come by and see me sleeping in the parking lot. It was pretty good, but sleep's the best when you could get caught.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Tell you to leave?
If I can tell you, like, you're in a place where you have to pay to sleep, and you're sleeping in the parking lot for free. Get out of here, you heathen.
I mean, it's whatever. Just be like, I don't live here. Just go back home, man. But I saw that Mr. Ramsey's in the chat, and Phantom of Darkness, and After Dark. So what's up, you guys? And if anyone else, Joey Adventures is here. Sorry we haven't been keeping up with the chat as much. I really struggled last week, so I'm really sorry to everyone who watched that. But we got some cool stories for you guys. There's more.
Yeah. I saw that we've got a collab in the making.
Yeah,
I just spy on the Ethan, and Ethan is the one that sends the messages for the Twitter for the most part. And every now and then I'm just like, oh, what's going on with the channel? Let me just go see what's going on. So we got some cool things coming up. Might have an IRL live stream. But yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, back to what you were saying. You struggled.
I don't know what I was going to say next. Sorry. See, that's another thing. Also in last. Oh yeah, I did struggle last week. I struggled to like know what to say next because sometimes I'm used to like late cutting in, so I can take a second to stop and think about things. So I didn't have that. So I'm like, what do I say next? Fuck.
It's all about just saying the first thing that pops in your head and then rolling with it. Yeah. So whenever there's dead silence, it's just like, Cheetos are amazing. Have you ever had Cheetos? They're the best. And by then,
completely off topic.
And by then, Ethan's taking a breath and he's good. He can get us back on track.
Oh, sorry, I'm having to plug in my laptop. I forgot to do that first, and it's like kind of dying. So before we go on to the next one, let me. Oh man, plug it in.
Ethan, how you do this?
I know it's a struggle. I'm sorry. There's a lot of cords. I'm being loud. So, but have you guys heard of the Long Island serial killer before? Have you, Blake?
It sounds like a name that I would give you if you ever did that.
Oh, yeah,
Because
'cause
like all you
I
ever get
love
is
Long
Long
Island.
Islands.
Plot twist. It's a trick question because we mentioned him on a stream before. I actually
uh,
didn't know. I know.
what?
I actually forgot about it. So
Refresh my memory. I probably read the fucking story and I don't know, but I do remember something about Long Island.
I really like someone actually. All right. So when we did the serial killers that are still active live stream, like back in November, we briefly touched on the Long Island serial killer because it was never he or she was never caught. But then when we did, thank you, the Ghost Watch. I really
Thanks,
appreciate it.
man. Appreciate that.
When we did that live stream, we only touched on it, and then when we did the serial killers by state that you're most likely going to encounter, someone mentioned the Long Island serial killer, and I replied like I didn't know much about him, and they replied with this like Cosmic Alice said, the killer the hold on. The serial killer has never been caught, but one theory is that the Long Island serial killer was the police chief, Burke, in the area and his friend, who was a doctor, that committed the murders of 8 Craigslist sex workers, especially since the killings ceased to go on when he was in jail for other crimes involving the assault of a young man who broke into his truck to find a bunch of porn and sex toys. So Burke tried to pay off the other cops to keep everything quiet about him, but eventually it was found out and he went to jail. So this comment made me research more about it for this serial killer mystery thing, because I found out that besides murdering women, the killer was had a very sadistic way of tormenting the family of his victims. Because on July 10th of 2009, 24-year-old Melissa Brathwaite, when she went missing, shortly after that, her younger sister, Amanda, started getting these phone calls from her sister's cell phone. There were 7 calls made in total, and none of them lasted more than 3 minutes. But the last call was only 40 seconds and took place in August of 2009. And during this call, an unidentified caller admitted to killing Melissa. And eventually, Melissa's body was one of the few that were found in 2010 that were victims of the Long Island serial killer, which is believed to have murdered between 10 to 16 women over the course of 20 years. They dumped their bodies in the Ocean Parkway near the remote area of Long Island of the beach towns of Gilgo and Oak Beach. All the women were strangled and wrapped in burlap sacks before being dumped. That's the part you should remember, because that's the part we talked about, like the dumping in burlap sacks. Because literally one of the clues is like it's someone who had accessed a burlap sack.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I thought that was so strange. But the police chief that she talked about was sentenced to 46 months in federal prison, along with 3 years under like supervised release probation for beating that man who stole a duffel bag full of sex toys and porn from his truck. He pled guilty to civil rights violations, conspiracies to obstruct justice, and he was rumored to engage with prostitutes. One escort came forward claiming that he had rough sex, almost like raping her, during a Oak Beach party, that he was known to like go to these parties. It was revealed later that he intentionally tried to block the FBI probe into the Long Island serial killer case, trying to say that it was just like the killings were not connected. The doctor that she mentioned that was like an associate of the chief was Dr. Peter Hackett. 2 days after Shannon's disappearance, her mother, Mary Gilbert, received a call from Dr. Hackett at Oak Beach. Hackett alleged that Maria was taking care of this other girl, Shannon, and he ran a home for wayward girls. 5 days after her disappearance, he made another phone call to her mother and denied actually coming into contact or ever knowing her. Like, I don't know why you'd call and say, hey, I know this person, and then call denying it. However, phone records eventually confirmed that these calls did happen, but no other connection was made. Someone did say, I forgot to include this, that his house was near or a vacation home was near the dumping ground of the bodies, but nothing was ever connected besides that. So do you think any of these guys were responsible, or do you think it was someone else? Because these are a little suspicious.
I don't know. I mean, again, it's hard to really tell because it could be anyone. I mean, you'd think they wouldn't do it to themselves, but I don't know. It's confusing.
Yeah. I mean, I always think it's interesting when the police are involved. It could be something it sounds like something out of a movie. where it's the police chief all along.
Yeah, I had some Scream vibes going on. I know that wasn't. I don't know. It just feels like the people that are high up in like law enforcement, anything, they can really get away with anything and just cover their own tracks. I've been watching a lot of Dexter, and it just shows how much they can get away with if you know the right people.
Yeah, man. But, who knew that surprise motherfucker was right all along?
Surprise motherfucker. Yeah. I love that. I hate they killed him off. Oh shit, spoilers. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Amy only said, where can we get some merch? Does Rebecca still have the Etsy thing?
Yeah, we do have an Etsy thing. We haven't really messed with it. I've been meaning to post. Like, we have the Etsy page, but then we also was thinking about doing a campaign. Well, let me see if I can find it on one of the ones that actually make it. But Rebecca made all of our merch the way like to try it. Hold on, I'll link it. But you can see the shirts that we've worn that have been custom made that she designed, her and Blake. Hold on. I came up with one of the ideas. Actually, two. Hold on. I came up with the whatever the stranger danger. Yeah, stranger danger face. Well, then I had the alien idea. Hold on. It didn't link. Hold on. Why is it not letting me share links, Blake? Why is this not a thing? How?
I don't know. It should let you. It should let you do it.
Hold on. Oh man.
Struggle.
Yeah. It's kicking it back out.
Have you checked out the Ted Bundy tapes from Netflix? He also worked in law enforcement. No, it's on my list. I really want to watch it. I've heard good things about it. And I've always had a fascination with serial killers, so I'd like to see if they have any new information or just a different look. Hopefully they'll do more. I'd like to see a Jeffrey Dahmer version. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we watched the first episode, and it was I liked it. Rebecca thought it was boring, but I mean, it was the very first episode.
You're posting under the Strangest account, right?
I am, and it still keeps kicking it out. I could literally
message it to me on Messenger, and I'll see if I can do it.
Okay, sorry for the distraction, guys. It's just really frustrating. I still have Messenger up.
How old are we? Sorry, I guess that's not really a relevant question to ask, but might as well. I am 47. Ethan is 12.
I know.
No, I'm 27. I'll be 28 in 15 days.
It's getting close, man.
That's good in there.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I'm 28 now, so
let's see if it'll let me do it.
So hold on, I had a question too while you're doing that.
Oh, it didn't let me do it either.
Yeah, it's a new thing because I've definitely shared links before in the chat. So if you could find out the answer to one unsolved case or mystery, like all the answers to it, which case or mystery would you choose?
That didn't work, but that'll give you guys an idea. If you want to search on Etsy, The Strangest Shop, I guess you'll find it. What was your question?
If you could get the answers to one unsolved case or mystery out of all of them, like basically like any answer to life or questions, like what would you choose? Like,
how did we get here? Like, what triggered the beginning of the universe? Like, was there something else? Is it artificial, or was it just a freak accident? That's what I would want to know. Is that that probably wasn't what you were thinking?
That's fine. That's a good answer. I just came up with that question last week and I thought it was a decent one, and that's a really good answer to it. That's when Blake just finds out we were just like farted out of another universe.
It's crazy. Like it's kind of incredible how the human brain just can't comprehend that question. It's like it's easy. I'm not trying to offend anyone. It's easy to say it was God. It's just God. But then you ask, it's like, well, what created God? Was he just there all the time? It's like there's always but what came before question. And it's just it's either way, it's really hard to believe that the universe just came out of nothing. It's also really hard to believe that a God just snapped his fingers. So I don't know. That's what I want to know. But I'll never know. I don't think anyone will ever know. I don't think we'll ever know for sure. So the sun will end up taking us out before that.
Oh, yeah. Or heat death of the universe, which is pretty dark.
Man, bear, pig, global warming.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that used to keep me up at night.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you know if you have an answer, like if a question to ask, like a higher anything, you have it. If you get abducted by aliens, you'd be like, yo, what came before you? What's some alien religions?
What if they say alien god? And it's like, oh, damn it.
What does tell you about it? You get alien Mormons.
Alien Jesus.
This is how you find out about things. So
the Mormons are right. They're always right.
Yeah.
Hey, Carrie, how's it going? Good to see you.
Yeah. So I guess I'd probably be like aliens, just knowing that the whole idea, like whether we were alone. I guess like if you could like aliens or any other like intelligent beings that aren't on Earth or something that's out there, that we're not like alone, that like humanity is not the pinnacle of life or existence, so that there is something either more evolved or like a higher power somewhere. So kind of similar answer.
That's another scary thing, though. It's like, would we want to know that? Like, I think we discussed it before. Is like, is the world ready for that? Would we just implode? I think a lot of people are too close-minded to accept that we might not be the apex predator or the apex, species.
Yeah, or about how close-minded we are that if we are the apex, that's even scarier. Like this is it, guys. Let's keep trying to go forward because it's a struggle. So.
Yeah. What if humanity is just a lapping circle of just getting really close to the truth and then getting exterminated and then starting over again and just seeing how far we get before the next thing takes us out? Has there been intelligent life on Earth before us? Not saying there's aliens, but has there been a humanoid or anything like that? Has there been an intelligent species that died out before? The dinosaurs were just the last one. They didn't make it very far at all.
I mean, there's definitely questions like whether that's happened before. I don't know. Man, I don't know. So, out of all these people, we have a lot of people here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Who's someone you'd want to have on the stream? If you could pick anyone, who would it be?
Navi. She's never on the stream, man. She's just always hanging out.
Just chilling.
Just chilling like a villain. Half the people don't even know. Hey, maybe I can do this. Hold up. It's not working as well as I thought. Hey, what's going on? You just chilling? You want to hang out? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, now everyone has seen Navi.
Yeah. Lex said After Dark analysis, and I think I have an idea for another stream with After Dark. I read
she was our first one, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. We did The Shining, but since then I've read Pet Sematary, and that's really messed me up after reading it because it actually scared me some. And I would like to do a stream about Pet Sematary closer to when the remake of the movie comes out, or the book, I guess, when it's redone. So
Amy only said we should do a collab or have Britty 44 on. That would be a good one. We need to reach out to people. Need to reach out to chills.
I know. Just need to. I always get a little nervous though. What are you gonna do? Just ignore it. Say no thank you. You never know.
We got a comment on this last video that said I wasn't monotone like chills. So that's like 1 out of 50 people. I'm gonna go with that one.
But still, man, like Chills is awesome. He does like get stuff out there in the community. It was literally like I was telling like Phantom of Darkness, like he was literally in PewDiePie's UT Rewind video. So that's impressive. That's good for the community.
Burger and foot lettuce.
Yeah, man. So, but how much faith do you put in the website Snopes, the fact check things? When you look things up and you see whether it's true, do you go to Snopes, or do you think they're full of shit?
I believe Snopes. I'm one step above the rest of the population that just sees something on Facebook and they're like, that's real. I at least go to Snopes. Yeah, I at least go to Snopes and I give them the benefit of the doubt. It's like, did this person die? It's like, okay, they didn't. But I take it for granted, I guess. Should I be worried? Is Snopes not trustworthy?
No, I was just saying because this next one was actually confirmed to be true and that it actually happened on Snopes. So, and the first paragraph of this was taken from the Snopes article, and the rest was combined with the other stories I read online from it. But do you want to read it?
No.
I can read it. It's true.
I want to read it. Hold up, I gotta find it.
All right.
Okay, that's my story I did earlier. Hold up.
Yeah, yours was like a book. I'm sorry.
You're fine. All right. So on the 12th of September, 2008, at 4:22 p.m. in California's San Fernando Valley, a commuter train carrying 225 riders collided at a combined speed of 83 miles per hour with a freight train run by a crew of 3. In what came to be known as the Chatsworth crash, 135 people were injured, of which 87 were taken to the hospital, 46 in critical condition, and 25 died. One of the deceased was 49-year-old Charles E. Peck, a customer service agent for Delta Airlines at Salt Lake City International Airport. He had come to Los Angeles for a job interview at Van Nuys Airport because gaining work in the Golden State would have allowed him to wed his fiancée, Andrea Katz of Westlake Village. The pair had put off getting hitched until they were living in the same state. This would have been his second marriage. Peck had had 3 grown children from a previous union. His fiancée heard about the crash from a news report on the radio as she was driving to the train station to pick up her intended. Peck's parents and siblings joined her. Peck's body was recovered from the wreckage 12 hours after the accident, yet for the first 11 of those hours, his cell phone placed call after call to his loved ones, calling his son, his brother, his stepmother, his sister, and his fiancée. And all his various family members received 35 calls from his cell phone through that long night. When they answered, all they heard was static, but when they called back, their calls went straight to voicemail. But the calls gave them hope that the man they loved was still alive, just trapped somewhere in the wreckage. The barrage of phone calls prompted search crews to trace the whereabouts of the phone through its signal and to once again look through what was left of the first train, the location the calls were coming from. The call searchers finally found Peck's body about an hour after the calls from his cell phone stopped. Charles Peck had died on impact, yet long past his death, his cell phone had continued to reach out to many people that he cared about, and ultimately led rescuers to his mortal remains. It's logical to assume that the phone calls were a result of a technical malfunction and not supernatural forces. There have been no analysis to the condition of the cell phone as far as the investigators revealed. They never found Peck's cell phone. Were the mysterious calls the result of something paranormal or the result of a malfunctioning cell phone? What do you think? I don't think anyone would do that. I mean, I think it's probably got to be like just a malfunction. But they said they never found the phone.
Yeah, they never found it, which means if it was calling people, it was pretty intact to be able to be doing. Like the best explanation I said, since it happened in 2008, like iPhones and stuff came out in 2007, the guy probably still had some sort of flip phone, and it was like the equivalent of butt dialing. But like, why was the phone never found in the wreckage? So, I mean, if it was that intact to be able to make calls, you'd think that would have been cataloged, especially if they knew of this specific thing that happened, this specific incident. They would have gone through like the evidence and possibly found it. So,
I don't know. I mean, unless it like flew out a window or something.
Yeah, but they also said they used the phone signals. I don't know how true this is, but it was on Snopes to like pinpoint his body. So that means like his phone should have been around there somewhere that they should have retrieved. Unless they're like, oh, this is it. This isn't good. Let's call it a day, guys. So
I don't know. I'm starting to think, about maybe just losing the cell phone. It's too much weird stuff going on, and it really does. At the very least, it provides a location for you. Like it lets whoever needs it know exactly where you are. You're essentially paying to be tracked. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
What if that allows the government to take you out, Blake? Because you're not becoming a government shill when you become a successful YouTuber, man. You're not going to sell out to the government.
Yeah. Another thing I hate is like in all the cool shows, when people are on the cell phones, they don't want to be tracked. It's always a flip phone. They just take it, snap it in half, throw it the battery. Now you can't do that. Now it's like, shit. What do I do?
Microwave it, throw it in a fire. I don't know.
I can just see Heisenberg putting his phone in the microwave. Dun, 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 dun. I'm a badass. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we already know that it tracks everything we put in there because like Facebook and, searches coming up. But I don't know.
Yeah. So are you okay with people, like everything, like governments and like corporations and everything, knowing your every move, databasing it? Like the real thing right now is like it's not as efficient to get everyone's information. Like, yeah, there's algorithms and stuff in place to track things, your spending habits and stuff, but it's not as developed. But once you think you have AIs and everything that can super like condense all these things and smarter, it's almost even scary from a business standpoint. Like if you're a new person trying to start a business, like how do you compete against these people who have like these all-knowing like databases and algorithms and AIs that can know spending habits, market trends, and all that? You have to be like really good and lucky to make it these days, or have some money to buy into this. I don't know. It's a little creepy.
The world's not meant for us to succeed. Everyone that who would have succeeded has already gotten their foot in the door, and they closed it. They locked the door.
Yeah, capitalism's just there to give you an illusion that you can make it.
Yeah.
You work hard enough, grind enough.
It's like that Black Mirror episode. Was it 40 million merits or 400,000 merits? I don't know. You just work your whole life for a chance to get out, but you don't really ever get out.
15 million merits? I don't
15
know.
million. That's a lot of merits.
After Dark Analysis did a video, and it's my favorite Black Mirror episode. So
they're good. I need some new episodes. I still haven't watched Bandersnatch or whatever it is.
You should definitely do it. The best thing I heard about Bandersnatch, and I hadn't heard it until I watched it, was if you haven't watched Bandersnatch yet, that's the Black Mirror Choose Your Own Adventure episode, is you should do it do it like once a day, like go through it. That way, if you end it, you don't just keep through the different alternative versions of it. That way you don't get burnt out, and you can really experience the story different ways and like in a fresh new way. So yeah. Carrie said watch it on Rabbit. You can watch it on Rabbit with everyone. There you go.
I could do that. I just have to actually sit down and do it. I've been watching too much Dexter, and actually I am on the last episode of Dexter for the second time. So, finish that out. And then I'm probably going to end up watching the Ted Bundy tapes.
So, I think the Ted Bundy tapes to me is interesting from like a YouTuber's perspective, because some of the stuff that they put on the screen for you to watch, it really is more like an audio experience than a film experience. Like, because a lot of it is like stock footage with some clips of like interviews put in. I guess that's what a lot of documentaries are, but this one seems like they literally went off of like some site and just like bought a bunch of clips to put together. It didn't seem like they sent out people to film like B-roll footage like they did for like Making of a Murderer. So I don't know. Shows that we can make it one day. In fact, the lore seasons on Amazon could prove that people can make it from YouTube on there. Like, I don't know how Top Fives doesn't have a YouTube, a Netflix or Amazon show off of his channel.
One day.
Yeah, one day. Like, if I was an executive, he's one person I'd be like, because he's already making like 30-minute style videos, or like when he does the like serial killer ones or like deep documentary ones, like just pay for that. Like that would be a solid investment compared to some things they're investing money in.
Yeah. Speaking of making it big on YouTube, Carrie and I don't think Lex may have seen it too. They were looking at the my old channel, and they said that you and I should start making some skit videos.
We could do it.
We could do it. Just burn the line at both ends, whether it's the strangest that gets us famous, or the random shit on Pornhub that we've got, or I guess the third one could be the skit videos, which no one has found our Pornhub videos yet. That's very surprising.
Yeah,
like we leave clues in every video of how to find it, but no one's found it.
Follow the clues. I actually have a really dark video of Jaren, and I would like to film it with Jaren and Amber. I don't know if Amber would be up for it. I know Jaren probably would be.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's on the Valentine Day one, and I don't think I'd release it.
Definitely rough. That one's really bad.
That is so dark. I don't even think I would release it like public. I'd probably unlist it and like on Stay Strange and send it out as a Valentine's Day to people who follow us on social media. So if you don't follow us on Twitter and Discord, Facebook, Instagram, check it out, because that's probably gonna go unlisted because it's a really fucked up story and it's a true story.
Yeah, I like dark stuff, but it's pretty awful.
Yeah, it's one of the darkest things that happened, and the person just got away with it. So no one has any clues to like who this guy was. So, So have you ever ridden a train before? Have you taken a ride with Thomas the train?
I haven't. It's on my list. It just seems like a very inconvenient way to travel. Like, I know people will often, when they talk about going to New York from where we live, they'll be like, I'm going to take the train. But like, it takes like twice as long at least to get there on a train. So yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I'd like to do it. I've been in a train, but I've never ridden on a train.
I've ridden on a train just as like a touristy thing, but never like actually get from A to B. Like it was more just a sightseeing, come back around. And but I had always wanted to ride a train like across the country, across like up and down the coast just for the experience. But then like Rebecca's grandpa told me about how miserable it is. Like it takes so long, it's cold, it sucks. You have to deal with annoying people. He didn't make it that romantic sounding. So
Yeah. Have you ever run a train? Oh man, Kenneth said, "I don't understand computers. What is Discord? Discord is like a online message board, but it's a good time. You should join. It's basically a way to hang out with us when we're not streaming. So, yeah, we need to make it more active. Everyone needs to go join our Discord.
yeah, we're just on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. I don't know if I can send you. I don't forget how YouTube Messenger works. YouTube Messenger is also a thing. If I could somehow message you on that, then I could send you the link there if you don't follow us. So
I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah, there's only one person I've ever messengered on there before, and that's because they messaged us first, and I knew who it was, so I kept talking to him. So other than that, it's just been like spam stuff, like buy my stuff or subscribe. So
I saw where that person was trying to use our videos, like on Twitch.
yeah,
It's like that's just stealing videos, man.
at least they asked before we just
if
like Twitch streaming our videos.
Because let's be real, we probably never would have. We need to set up one of those systems where it just flags it if our footage is being used, like somehow the Berenstein Bears account's doing.
Yeah, get it content ID. They probably pay YouTube money to do that too. So
technically that was it was technically creative. It was creative, whatever, free use, whatever, fair use. Because I was adding something to it. I wasn't just playing the clip. But
yeah, I think technically all of ours would be transformative. So that's why I try not to steal anything that's not filmed by us. It's either been from like a news clip that I've used or been open. It's not called open source. It's called copyright free something. It's whatever. I search it. The
fair use
or no Creative Commons. There we
go.
On the Creative Commons videos. So, hold on, let me see. Someone else said something. Oh, the YouTube messages. They killed the messages where like the YouTube inbox where you could actually send like email type messages. Now they have like an instant messenger, kind of like Facebook, that you can pop up. It's actually on the side of your notification tab. Like if you go to notifications, like especially in the app, if you like tab over, it's going to show you like chat channel to where you can talk to other creators. So, or like subscribers.
It's good shit.
Yeah, no one uses this apparently. So
yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
But I'm very antisocial. The only time I ever reach out to anyone is if it's like a meme. It's like, yo, look at this meme. You like this meme? Yeah, it's a good meme. Oh, thanks, Carrie. We appreciate it. She can post links.
Yeah.
She's got the power.
It might be Etsy in general. Like YouTube might not let Etsy links because they know that's like a for sure like sell you shit spam thing.
It could be.
So that might have been what's up. So, but yeah, Carrie's on our Discord. She's the one who really got us into it. So check it out if you haven't already. But we're also on Twitter. We just hit 500 followers. So thank you if you follow us on Twitter.
Also, our side channel, Stay Strange, hit 200 subscribers, and it's still growing.
204.
It's growing faster now than it was when I was posting videos every day. Now I'm posting videos not at all. So maybe if it starts picking back up, I'll start streaming. So, but yeah, I was telling Rebecca, if you guys aren't doing anything tomorrow, you guys should come over and we can play some games and maybe stream. That could be a thing.
Yeah. I just froze, so I didn't know what was going on for a second. So, all right.
Let me see your shirt. I can't see the rest of it.
Me?
Yeah.
It's Conspiracy Club.
Oh, it's got the reptilians.
Yeah. So it's got the all-seeing eye, NASA, Bigfoot, Alien, Area 51. Rebecca got it for me. So
it's pretty dank.
Yeah. So have you seen Glass yet? Trains. Like the trains remind me of Unbreakable.
No, I haven't seen it. It's on my list again. I really want to see it. I still haven't seen Unbreakable though.
What? You should just watch them all.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching Split again because I remember it's been a long time. I just remember the memes. That wasn't me. That was Patricia.
Nah, that's literally the best part of Glass. So you should definitely check it out again. Are there any horror movies you're looking forward to in 2019?
There is one. It Part 2 is supposed to come out this year, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the best one, unless there's like some smaller budget ones, like smaller indie films that come out. That would be better. Something like Quiet Place or something like that.
Did you see that the trailer I linked on Discord? It was it's like a Superman but a horror movie. It's like what if Superman crash landed, but he was like he had a killer instinct. He wanted to kill people. Like,
nah, I didn't see that. No.
I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to find it, but it looks very good. It's like a high budget looking movie, but basically they raise the kid, but then he's using his superpowers to kill people, not like mass, but just like here and there. I guess it'll probably become mass, but I do want to see that really bad. Looks like a good movie.
Yeah,
it's got kind of a chronicle look to it.
Icy Pie said, "Wait, is there going to be a part 2 to it?" Yeah, there's a part 2 where they're adults. Like the book's like giant, and I think James McAvoy from Glass and Split is starring Bill, the main guy. I think his name's Bill.
That'll be good.
Yeah, he's a great actor, man. He crushes.
Is there anyone else of note going to be in there?
Bill Hader is going to play
Mike.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Glasses. And I think there's a couple other good casts. I can't remember, but it's been teased for a long time. I hope it's good.
Yeah, what's his name? Who's the guy that plays it?
Oh,
Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a movie the other day he was in. I think it might have been was he in Deadpool 2?
I don't remember. Do you know Brad Pitt was in Deadpool 2?
Yeah, I didn't realize that till recently. Did you know that what's his name, Matt Damon was in Thor Ragnarok?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, when they're doing the play, like the play with Thor and Loki in the beginning, he plays Loki.
Wow.
Yeah, did not realize. I don't think he's even credited in the credits.
Man.
Yeah, thought that was pretty neat.
You just learn something new every day.
Yeah. Phantom said Bill Skarsgård is underrated. Yeah, I think he did an amazing job as it. Like, he's a very creepy dude. So I'm excited to see part 2. I get really excited when I see a really well done horror movie, because then it gives me hope that they'll make some more. Because good horror movies are kind of hard to find. Like, they'll come out with one here and there, but overall they'll use like cheap scares. Although I will say, everyone that's seen Hereditary recently keeps saying it's really good, and I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. I slept through part of it, but
I think it's because it wasn't what we were expecting. We were expecting one type of horror movie, and it ended up being more of a slow burn.
A Quiet Place was my favorite one from 2018, but I would like to see Hereditary again, because I know Sir Spooks talks it up, and a few other people I've seen on Twitter really say it was their favorite. So
Brian, our friend, saw it. He said it was really good. So we'll have to do that. You said the original It was pretty bad, but I still love Tim Curry's performance. That was such a crazy movie. Series.
Yeah, talking about like someone mentioned, or I did, like Pet Sematary. The book, if you like audiobooks, Pet Sematary is narrated by Michael C. Hall, the guy who plays Dexter. So that's a really good job. And if you want to spend like 40 or 50 hours of your life, it is on Audible too, and it's pretty good. But that took me like a month to listen. So it's a long time. What's your favorite horror book? Let me know, because I'm going to choose another one. I was thinking about doing Frankenstein next. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever actually read a horror book. Unless you count Lord of the Flies as horror.
Man, Pet Sematary is actually, it's really creepy. The shit they deal with, like death and everything, and you can kind of see it, like how they're like laying things down. It's just, it's a really good book. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they need to make a Lord of the Flies live action movie. I'm surprised they haven't. Like if you ever read it, it's just kids killing each other on an island. It's a great premise. So hopefully one day. But
all right. So this last story, there's another one from Reddit. It's one that I read like 4 years ago, and I don't know if this was the original poster or not. Like it was by DeFulio. It was a glitch. It was on a glitch in the Matrix, but it was posted in another thread. And it also involves like another mysterious phone call. But it's like something that's always stuck with me because of how creepy it is. Like if I don't know, it just seems like something that could possibly happen. I don't know. It just seems kind of like connected. In 2003, my best friend had gone missing and ended up being murdered. It was a huge news story and it tore me up inside. It was all over the news. I didn't know what to do. But back when it had occurred, there was some issues going on in his personal life. I was living a few hours away, and my birthday was coming up on June 15th. It was on a Sunday. And I was hanging out at my friend's house that morning. It was Saturday the 14th. I distinctly remember having a bad signal in my cell. Anyways, I was hanging out at the time, and we were in front of my friend's house. I called my other friend, the one who was killed, that morning and asked him if he was going to be able to do anything on my birthday the next day. Because that night we had planned to go to a rap concert. I wanted him to go with us. He specifically said he wanted to come down, but there was some trouble, and he wasn't alone at the time. He had mentioned he was with his roommates and told him that they could both come down and meet us. Without giving too much detail, he mentioned that he was in fear of his life. And I told him that he should come down anyway and just lay low at my house because we'd always been good friends. I wanted to help him. So that Monday he could come down and we could go to the police together. My friend's house, who I was at the time, also chimed in, remembering me having this conversation because he was freaking out, like wonder what was actually going on because they knew each other. And he definitely said, like, yeah, you should like drive down now and come over if he really thinks he's in trouble. So, hold on. But he never showed up. I called him on my birthday. Infuriated, they never came down because we were both like so adamant about him coming. But he never answered the phone. I didn't think much of it at the time. I was very drunk that day, hanging out, partying, but something just didn't seem right. I got a call on Monday morning from his long distance girlfriend saying she hadn't spoken to him since Tuesday. I told her to calm down since I had just spoken to him that weekend. Well, then I got a call from his parents begging me to go check on him in his dorm, which was a few hours away. And so I drove down with my friend. We were just like driving around, getting high, going there to see what was up. We didn't think much of it. When we got there, he had two baby out bulls. Hold on. Baby out bulls? I don't know what that is. Who looked starved when we walked in. There's dog shit everywhere. So he had dogs that were starving. We checked the apartment. He said it was a dorm earlier in the story, apartment dorm, and it was a mess. I went into his bedroom, and there was a suitcase on the bed, half packed with folded clothes in a bag. And the bed was very neat, like it had been made. This was how my friend was with all his clothes. He was a really neat person. So he had packed like a 2 to 3 night bag. But something was wrong. Fast forward to a month later, and someone found his body. I won't go into much detail about that portion. However, I will say that the FBI ended up coming in and getting involved in the investigation. And they said he had been dead for 2 or 3 days before the day I had spoke to him. Furthermore, there was no cell phone record of the call. Or at least that's what I was told. And the police supposedly verified it since I was the last person to speak to him. I can't see how accurate the body decomposition, like study, test, investigation they did. The body was found in a field during the summer in the South in a very hot state. But the FBI was very positive that he would have been dead before I talked to him. To this day, I know I spoke to my friend who died. My other friend who was there at the time confirmed it. He knows it was him. Apparently, they say it never happened. It couldn't have happened. But it has never sat well with me the rest of my life. So,
Classic Mandela.
I mean, it's like a glitch in the Matrix that you would have been able to talk to him, or like a parallel universe. In fact, I was going to end this on I found an article recently that said like we first discovered like proof of parallel universes, like solid proof that they've been theorizing. Let me Google that real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy though. I mean, trying to put myself in their shoes, like if you, I mean, you know what you heard, but how do you explain it? I don't know. It's crazy. Maybe phones are, a connection to the other side. Never know.
Maybe.
Wasn't there a movie about that? No, there was a horror movie, One Missed Call, that was something different. But yeah. There's a theory that, spirits can, not speak or communicate or gather energy from electronics. So maybe there's something with that.
Yeah, manipulate radio waves.
Verizon has the best service ever, even in the spirit world.
You never know. Instant connection.
Can you hear me now? Boo.
That was hard to explain. That if you knew for sure, like you had talked to him and he was in trouble and all that stuff, it makes me think that like you did talk to him and he tried to like escape, and maybe something happened to him, and maybe he did just decompose faster.
Well, I promise you this, Ethan. If I die and I have the ability to call you, I will.
That's just going to scare me.
Ethan would freak the fuck out because he's like, why is Blake calling me? Because I don't call anyone. He'd be like, oh, shit. He must be in trouble.
We got a copy strike. Fuck. Demonetized the whole channel.
Everything's down.
Oh.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Have you ever experienced your own glitch in the Matrix before?
Not right offhand. Sure, if you gave me a minute, maybe, but I can't think of anything right offhand. How about you?
I mean, I tried to think when I wrote that down, like if there was anything specific. But I know there's weird incidences where I've had where I think I was looking for something and it wasn't, like I for sure checked somewhere and then it was magically there. But that's also like what people say with the Mandela effect. That's just people being stupid. So I can't think of one off the top of my head where I thought was really out there. One time, this isn't a glitch in the Matrix. This is kind of crazy. Like me and Rebecca had there's 2 times where we've had a car, like it was raining, like it hydroplaned right in front of us. And she told me like to slow down, like it was coming in the opposite direction. And she's like, that car's swerving all over the road. And she's like, slow down. And I was like, I slowed down and it like cut like out of, it was a 2-lane road, cut out in front of us, whipped around like right in front of our car, and somehow managed to like recover and keep going down the road behind us and acted like nothing happened. But if she hadn't like told me to slow down, I mean, we would have like got hit head on from something. And then there was a time where like we literally watched this drunk driver on another county road. Like we were staying really far back because we knew, because he was just like literally like the worst drunk driver I've ever seen, like struggling. He hits like, where like there's drain ditches on the side of the road. There's a driveway that's built up to go across it. He literally hits the driveway, bounces up on 2 wheels in front of us, somehow doesn't flip, and then just tosses back over and keeps going forward. Like he lands back right. But he could have just as easy like flipped. And that was the craziest thing. It almost looked like a stunt from a movie. And he kept going.
I mean, I guess you would just play it off. You're like, whatever. That could have been bad. Let's just play that off. He just looks over. How's it going?
I know everyone's had a tough time going home at least once. Like, imagine if that was your tough time. Like, is that just a normal day? You're just like, holy shit, how did I make it home?
Yeah, so. That's insane. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. The stout protagonist said, I had a glitch. Mom has an old bird bath outside her house. One day I noticed the top was missing and she said it had fallen and broken in the wind. Well, recently I visited and it was there, not broken. If she didn't replace it, then I don't know. But crazy stuff.
Yeah. I love like glitches in the Matrix and the Mandela effect, stuff like that. Stuff that makes you question like little things. And I didn't really mention it. I've mentioned it on stream before that I've thought about like maybe like things on maybe even on a grand scale are being changed just slightly. Like in the book 1984, they're constantly adjusting things a little bit to where it makes you question things, but you kind of just go along with it. And with like digital media these days, you can kind of do that. Just tweak things, spread it out. And now with fake news and everything, you can just make people doubt everything. I think also I read a book in a book I read recently talked about how like now that people have access to information and truth and like can learn things, now one of the ways people try to ruin that is by flooding them with false information to make them question things and doubt and go down the wrong path. So I think now like physical media and stuff like that from the past is going to be more valuable than like digital stuff because it can be changed, altered, or whatever.
It's scary. The media can do that though, and a lot of people fall for it. You know, people don't ask questions. They just take what they're given and they accept it as truth.
Yeah.
So
like imagine if like everyone owns like a movie digitally or a video game and it has like a scene from history like the JFK thing, but then all of a sudden boom, it goes from 6 people to 4 people just in the video, all digital. You don't know why, because it was just altered digitally, and it only takes time before people accept that or not even really question it because it's a small detail. So
yeah, because it's like that whole, I mean, the Tito effect. Like when Rebecca brought it up, I asked my sister, I was like, the dog from Oliver and Company, did he have any jewelry on him? Like I was trying to be vague, and she was like, yeah, he had a gold earring. So I mean, people remember.
She didn't say that she's got gold hoop earring. She said it specifically because
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's scary that the fact that the world could trick us like that, but I don't know, man.
Questions that keep you up at night. So, did you see the UFO video I posted again on our Twitter and Discord?
I didn't see the video. I saw the picture. It looked like a Duracell battery.
Yeah, it was in Greensboro, North Carolina, which is like an hour from us. So it was really close. I hadn't heard of it before. On our Instagram, I cycle through posting like ghost photos and UFO stuff, like paranormal things I'm interested in. And today I was going to look up a UFO picture and literally like, and it came up with top news story, UFO in Greensboro, North Carolina was filmed. I'm like, holy shit, what is this? So
this is what he's referring to. So you can see that little, the battery. I don't know what it is. They were saying it was the good. Rebecca thought it was the Goodyear blimp, but then Soggy Seal was saying it couldn't go at that angle, like it wasn't able to go at a 45-degree angle. I don't know. It definitely looks blimpish, but who knows? It's pretty interesting.
Also, the Goodyear blimp wasn't in the area at this time, and like there's only a certain number of blimps in the world. I think it's only like 16 or 18, and I don't think there was any near us.
I saw the blimp like during the summer, I think, or late summer.
Yeah, that's when it was there because it was there for like Goodyear's like anniversary. I posted the video of it. There's a video in the Discord because I filmed part of it.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty neat.
The stout protagonist mentioned the gold earring, but it's here, man. It's right there. You see it? It's on Tito.
But I also have a memory of it being at the top as well. Like I couldn't remember if it was at the top or the bottom. But I remembered him having the earring, the gold.
That's another thing. That's I remembered it in the part that's missing. Yeah, like right here. So.
Yeah. So that's how I remember it too. But again, there's no proof. But yeah, the Bernstein Bears one really. That's the one that got me the most. And then there's the one about the gremlins that said the evil gremlin is. I always thought his name was Spike, but it's actually Stripe. So that one bothers me.
Trying to think if there's any other ones that really messed with me.
Yeah. Also, when I told you I wanted to change the intro to that video, I was gonna go in and just start it off with like, "Welcome back, my dudes." Like, wait, what? And then at the end, be like, "And as always, stay weird."
That's pretty good.
Yeah, just ran out of time. It was a rough day. After Dark said she remembers it as Stripe. I don't know. I always thought it was Spike. And like I love that movie. So I don't know why I thought it was Spike. I guess because it sounds more menacing. I need to rewatch that. I'm surprised they haven't remade that yet.
They're going to. You mentioned it. We're building it up. We're part of Disney's marketing campaign. At this rate, we might be owned by Disney before we know it. So
I mean, we take that deal. Yeah. Make a studio, hell yeah. Go to Disney World.
You have to sign some crazy contracts to be a part. I don't know, like to be a part of Maker and that, but to be a part of like Disney, you have to like you can't drink, swear, smoke like in at all in public or be filmed doing it because there is a channel like Parker Plays who got signed to Disney to make a gaming TV show, and he had to leave like Sugar Pine 7 because he couldn't do any of the stuff that they were doing. So
that sucks.
Yeah, but he got paid to do that though. So
yeah. Did you know that Disney World doesn't drug test their employees unless they're characters?
What? That sounds racist.
It's real. They don't care what you do. They said as long as you don't show up high and drunk, they don't care.
I mean, it's because they probably couldn't get someone to sweep like throw up out the rides that wasn't high.
That was another thing. Like they have a code for throw up, and I can't remember what it is, but they won't say throw up or anything. It's like code. Shit, I'll have to look it up. It's bothering me now. But continue while I look up code throw up.
Okay, all right. I had something else I was going to talk about. Fuck, what was it? Oh yeah. Here's a Mandela effect. Do you remember me saying that I gave you your last beer this weekend?
Yeah.
There was one. I know there was one more beer when I opened it. So there's one Bud Light that I'm never going to drink in my fridge right now.
I knew there was another one. I was like,
I wasn't trying to hold out on you. I'm like, how did this happen?
Ah, man, I could have had a good drunk driving session. Instead, the bartender cut me off.
Yeah.
It's called, by the way, the name of a vomit spill is called a protein spill.
That sounds like someone just dumped a bunch of cum out somewhere.
Yeah. No, that's a cum. That's a different code. That's the
chum bucket.
The magical explosion. Oh God. We could never work at Disney World. But there's actually a channel that talks like it's an animation channel. I can't remember his name, but he talks about like his time working at Disney. You should go check it out. It's pretty good.
I actually really like channels that talk about like their past experiences, either at Disney or cruise ships or anywhere where you kind of would like know the behind the scenes of what actually goes on there, especially if you think it's a really cool job and you just get to hear like people shit on these dream jobs. You know, everyone like the grass is always greener on the other side of every job. So.
It is swoozy, Masudo-chan. It's swoozy. But yeah, it's good. You should definitely go check that out. Oh man. So are we done?
Yeah, we're done, you guys. You guys have any last closing comments, questions, concerns, announcements? So
I'm concerned about the future of this channel. It doesn't have enough protein spills.
Oh yeah, need more.
We should definitely but if you check out our Pornhub channel, there's plenty of protein spills. Oh man. Let us know when you find those Pornhub videos, guys. Oh shit, I told you the website it's on. Yeah. Oh well. It doesn't exist yet. The geekiest.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. What's going on next week, Ethan?
Next week, we have the Devil's Interval on next Friday at 8 p.m. So if you haven't checked him out, go check out his channel. It's really cool. It's going to be fun, like going over stuff. Like I don't know if I don't have a theme yet picked if it's going to be total like interview style or if we're going to have like a theme like this week. So we'll see how next week goes. But I'm glad you guys watched tonight. It was a lot of fun. I did a Patreon video with him on the Strangest news in December. So that was pretty cool. And we'll maybe have a week this week, maybe have something with Mr. Ramsey, maybe try to catch up because I've been working on other things. But we'll see. Be a surprise. Might be shorter, might be longer. I don't know. I appreciate you guys going on this roller coaster ride and watching our content. It means a lot.
It does. You guys are the best. You're the only ones that keep us going. So
yeah, definitely, especially on rough weeks. So thank you guys for everything.
All right. Well, again, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And let me see if I can get some closing thoughts from Navi now that I'm introducing her. Hey, come here.
Blake just makes everyone sick. We're motion sick.
Yeah, look at this dog. Come here. Say hey. How's it going? Stay strange.
Stay strange, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.